Hello, everybody. I am Levi.
And I'm Howie.
And this is...
No,
I was waiting for you to...
Magic. And today we're gonna take your precon blast from the past. Ready? Your commander's the 4th Doctor. Throw him in the trash. Or just a 99, because we're gonna
completely change him.
Know your f***ing place, trash.
We're taking him out.
The deck.
Yeah. To the 6th Doctor. We're changing him. Not that the 4th is bad, but the 6th Doctor is pretty cool. We're also going to change the Doctor's Companion. I'll get to that in a second. But the 6th Doctor. He's 4 in a green and a blue for Time Lord Doctor. Whenever you cast a historic spell, copy it. Except the copy isn't legendary. This ability triggers only once each turn. Copying things. It's really good.
When you get 2 copies of historic things, which are legendaries, artifacts, or sagas, like doubling down on stuff is crazy.
Mm-hmm. And the Doctor's Companion we chose for this is Perry Brown for 3 and a white creature. The first historic spell you cast each turn has Convoke, so it's going to help you get out those legendaries, those historics a little faster and a little easier as well. Because we're going to be making lots of creatures, lots of tokens in this deck as well, and that kind of helps.
Yeah, just make stuff, have it pay for other stuff, win the game, you know? It's the game plan.
Win the game. So we are adding 10 cards and removing 10 cards. This is an upgrade guide for the Blast from the Past Precon deck. We're going to start with some ads. One of the best cards to grace this these precons is Clara Oswald. She's a colorless 6 mana creature human advisor. If she is your commander, you choose a color, and before the game begins, you just, she is the chosen color. That part's whatever. If a triggered ability of a doctor you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. You throw her down, you're getting 3 copies of your historic spells when the 6th Doctor is out.
Ideally, you play the 6th Doctor, you play Clara, you get 2 Claras.
You get 2, you get 2 Claras, she's a historic.
And then, every time you cast a historic spell after that, you get a lot. 5?
Yeah, you get a lot. I do want to preface, too, this is actually one of the most put-together commander decks that I've actually seen, or precons, that I've actually seen. Like, this is actually quite a focused and good precon, so this is it was kind of hard to get through, but if we had more to change, I'd probably make this a little more rampy so that we can just blow up these the opponents with lots of really good historics.
That's right.
What's up next, Howie? What else did we add?
Let's do Rampy. Joyra's familiar. It's 4 mana for an artifact creature. Artifacts are historic. Bird. It's 2/2 flyer. And it says historic spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And so when they cost 2 or more less to cast, you can start churning things out. And with the Convoke that Perry gives, that's pretty good too.
Yeah, you're making copies of usually creatures, either legendary or artifact creatures, and they're going to help you Convoke into bigger stuff, so you're going to really need it. Speaking of that, tokens and needing Convoke, I think Coma Cosmos Serpent would be a great include in here. He not only is legendary, he is 3 green and blue, but he can't be countered, which is really nice. Y'all have probably heard of him before. He's kind of famous. At the beginning of each upkeep, you create a 3/3 blue serpent creature token named Coma's Coil. And then you can sacrifice another serpent to choose one. Tap target permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated this turn. Or sacrifice it and Coma gains indestructible until end of turn.
Great.
He is a fantastic just board presence. And having 2 of them?
Yeah.
Woo!
When you make it... it's every upkeep, right? Just in case you don't know the card. Every player's upkeep. You did say that, but I wanted to point it out just in case
it's a big deal.
when you got 2 comas, like that's like the floor in this deck, right? You make 24. My math is horrible. Yeah, 24 power a turn cycle. That's crazy. If you did something like the play we did earlier 2 cards ago, rewind it. Remember Clara Oswald. You get 5 comas. Whew. You're just doing math at that point, but you're winning.
Absolutely insane. Yeah, very, very solid. A really good one that I just really like in here is Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. He also is legendary. Human Rogue.
Historic
For 3 and a blue. You may have him enter as a copy of another creature you control, except it has Sakashima of 1,000 Faces, his name, and his other abilities as well. The legend rule doesn't apply to permanents you control. He can come in, be a copy of the 6th Doctor, and things are going to get out of control after that.
Yep, similar to Clara, you get 3 6th Doctors after that, so you're going to make a lot of copies. 3 extra copies, so 4 of whatever you cast after that. It's crazy.
Yeah, you could get a second 6th Doctor out, and then cast Clara Oswald, and then you'd get 2 more Clara Oswalds. No, I'm sorry, you'd get 4 Clara Oswalds.
No, so what happens is
oh my word,
you'd have 3 6th Doctors because you'd have 2
oh, that's
Sakashimas.
right. You have. Oh my word!
See, I told you, Word. Get your proboscis or whatever it's called. Because we're gonna do math.
Get your hibiscus out.
I don't think that hibiscus. That's a proboscis. That's like that's the tip of a mosquito nose. I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
But yeah, you end up with like 47 copies of your coma or whatever you need next. So great card, awesome. You did 2 cards in a row. I don't know if you noticed, so I'm gonna do 2 cards right now. I want to group. I wanted to group them together either way.
That works out.
Wrath Capuchin, Ship's Mage, and Gandalf the White, 4 mana and 5 mana respectively. For I'm just gonna read them back and forth, make it super awkward. All right, Human Wizard, Avatar Wizard. They both have Flash, and they both say you can cast one's historic spells as though they had Flash, and the other's legendary and artifact spells as though they had Flash. So basically historic minus sagas. And then legendary permanent entering the battlefield. I don't think that we have too many ETBs in here, but you want the Flash. That's really good because your commander, the 6th Doctor, triggers once each turn. So when you can get around that by casting stuff on everybody's turn, makes things way better.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Because, yeah, he doesn't care about it being only on your turn. He just cares about it being once per turn.
That's correct.
Super important. Yeah, and with that, you can cast some pretty cool stuff, like Esper Sentinel. You knew we were going to put this in here, guys. You already knew. He's one of the best white tax draw creatures in the game. He's one white.
Best draw spells in the game, I would say, period.
Just period. He's one
Maybe
white.
the best, honestly.
He might just be the best. He's better than that one fish. You know that
enchantment
fish.
that's not a real fish.
Yeah.
He is better because he sticks around.
Yeah. Artifact creature. Human soldier. Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, draw a card unless that payer pays X, where that's Esper Sentinel's power. So you can flash him in.
When you got 2 of them,
make
that's
2 of them.
Cool. You don't even feel bad for playing this turn 1 because you get so much card draw. You draw this late game, and you end up with 2, 4, 27 Esper Sentinels, whatever it is, after your Claras and Sakashimas of the world are around, Then you're just drawing the rest of your deck, and you mill yourself out, and you lose, but you had a great time. You saw every card in your deck. Is it my turn? What card we just read?
Yes.
Esper Sentinel.
Esper Sentinel.
So I wanted to add more card draw, so I added. I almost said Sakashima of a Genesis engine. Genesis engine.
Sure.
Genesis engine of 1,000 faces. It's a vehicle, but it's a legendary artifact. Those are both. This is double historic. Back in history. It's an 8/8. If you crew it for 8. And the main part though, it has 1 and tap, and it's not a creature most times unless you crew it, so you can do that right when it enters the battlefield. 1 and tap to draw 2 cards, then discard a card, create a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token with this creature cruise vehicles as though its power were 2 greater. Really, for 1 and a tap, that's a lot of value. You draw 2 cards, make a 1/1, but like,
You can do it
that
again.
twice per turn? That's good.
For just the low price of 2 mana total.
Yeah, 2 mana to
Ma-
draw 4, discard 2, make 2 1/1s. I pay that any day,
I have
any
no
turn,
issue
every
with
turn.
that. If I got the mana, I'm paying for that.
That's right.
That's right. Some actually broken stuff in this deck. Teferi, Master of Time. He's already kind of broken, but he's 2 and 2 blue. You may activate loyalty abilities of Teferi, Master of Time on any player's turn. Anytime you could cast an instant. Guys, you could play him, activate his ability, get to somebody else's turn, activate his ability, get somebody else's turn, activate his ability.
When there's 2 of them, you activate them both every turn.
Yeah, if there's 2 of them, if there's 3 of them, if there's 4 of them.
27 of them.
Yeah. So his +1s, draw a card, discard a card. Pretty dang good to me. His -3, target creature you don't control phases out.
That's protection.
That's protection. And his -10 is take 2 extra turns. So what if you have like maybe 2, maybe 3 of these guys, and you
I mean,
-10 all of them?
At the floor, if you got 3, at least one of them is going to ultimate. I'm pretty sure.
At least one of them. And
Yeah,
2
if you
extra
get-
turns usually makes you just win.
Yeah, especially because when you take the 2 extra turns, your other Teferis are still drawing cards and getting more loyalty, so it really works.
Yeah, you could even chain them together, like, Mortal Kombat fighting game, chain their combo, like, one's at 10, one's at 9, the other's at 8, and they take an extra turn, then it goes up to 10, take more turns. Oh my gosh. He's
Yeah, and
insane
if
in
you,
this deck.
If you can, oh man, that's too much. I love it.
Yeah,
this is.
you're winning.
I'm going on record. I don't know if this is a Howie Donnelly hot take, but this is one of the best Planeswalkers in Commander. Period.
Oh yeah, he is busted. He's way too busted, but
Oh,
it is what it is.
it's real good. Love that guy.
Is what it
Never
is.
played him.
Never. Yeah, I never played.
He's not in any of my
I've
decks,
never-
but I
never
wish he
seen him.
was. Lastly, we're adding Urza's Ruinous Blast. It's 4 and a white for a legendary sorcery. You can copy it. I don't know why you'd want to. Exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. Almost everything in your deck, I know not everything, but almost everything in here is legendary. So usually you're on top after the board wipe in this case.
5 mana for a pretty one-sided board wipe is very, very good too, by the way.
I mean, your opponents will keep the most important card on their field, probably their commander, but like all their tokens, everything else is Shigon. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And
They
a lot
go.
of your stuff's going to get bigger too, and there's a lot of counter synergy in this deck, so you'll probably be outpacing them if that's the case. Unless you're playing against like a Joda deck or something. Well, sorry.
Yeah, sorry in that case.
Yeah,
All right, so
sorry.
we added 10 cards. You know what that means? We gotta cut 10 cards.
We're not allowed
So-
to play with 110 cards in Commander. I found out
Yeah,
the hard way.
yeah.
Trust me.
Oh. You're banned from somewhere, huh? So, some of these cards are cool, some of them are not cool, but either way, they didn't make the cut, and like we
These
said
were
before,
hard.
Them's the rules.
Them's the rules. These were genuinely hard cuts, guys. Like, legitimately. I had a hard time.
The first one that we're gonna cut, I'm trying to read them all at the same time. We're gonna cut
Read
the
all of
eighth, all of them. The 8th Doctor. It's 6 mana for a Time Lord Doctor. It's a 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Once during each of your turns, you may play a historic land or cast a historic permanent spell from your graveyard. If you do, it gains if this permanent would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. It's pretty good.
It works with this deck.
I like the card.
Yeah.
It's mana intensive, and we added, I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of the stuff we added is like
Pretty mana intensive.
4, 5, 6, 7 mana, so we had to replace the slots somehow, and I'm sorry, the 8th Doctor and whatever your actor's name is, but we had a good run.
I think his name is like Daniel Craig or something.
I
That's the 007
don't know
actor.
about that. Yeah,
I
I'm
don't think
aware.
That's him.
The 007 actor.
One of them. Sorry.
One of the 007 commander decks win.
Yeah. Oh my. Ooh, that'd be sick.
Daniel Craig commander.
Another one. We did cut some doctors. I know. We also cut the 7th. He is a 3 and a white and a blue. Whenever he attacks, choose a card in your hand. Defending player guesses whether that card's mana value is greater than the number of artifacts you control. If they guessed wrong, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you don't cast a spell this way, investigate.
I like it.
It's good. It can
And
get you
again,
something free.
it's just-
And it says cast. That's very important.
It's just a hard cut.
It's a hard cut. It really
I-
is.
I like it. I would make a commander deck around this one, but it's just I can't have every doctor in here.
Yeah, I think all of them are pretty dang sweet, but if we're gonna cut something, it kind of we still want the deck to be a little more synergistic, and while he does help you get something out of your hand, he's not like helping with the overall game plan of just really trying to win. Yeah, that was me.
The second
Oh, yeah.
doctor.
Another doctor.
We're just countdown 8, 7, 2. That's how we count around here. 4 mana for a Time Lord Doctor. Players have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your end step, each player may draw a card. Each opponent who does can't attack you or permanents you control during their next turn. We're not really a Pillow 40 deck, and making copies of this doesn't do much. In fact, it just lets other players draw 2 if they were going to draw 1 instead.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just
we're not trying to
I'm
help.
not a
other
fan of
people
this. I'm not a fan of this one in general. I would have cut this regardless. It does not hurt as much as 7 and 8. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
what.
yeah. Another hard one for me, which is this was very difficult for me to cut, is the TARDIS. It's just a 2 mana artifact vehicle. When it attacks, if you control a Time Lord, the next spell you cast this turn has Cascade, and you may Planeswalk. This one is actually like a pretty solid card. Being able to give something Cascade is pretty solid, even if it only happens like just the once. Because man, you could do your TARDIS thing, do an attack, and then you'd cast your historic spell, copy it, and then the original gets cascaded, and then but I know I'm not making a great case here
Yep.
for the cut, but I don't really have much else to say that it was just kind of a hard cut, and the only thing that was stopping me was that this just kind of required a bit of a side quest in order to get there. I kind of want more immediate results, and I think with some of the Convoke stuff that we have in here, we're going to be a big target, and we just want to be able to have things immediately happen and be a big threat, because we are going to be a big threat with this deck.
Yes. And so, with that being said, we're going to cut some Doctor's Companions now. We got rid of the Doctors. Let's get rid of their little friends. Ace, Fearless Rebel, 3 and green. When an Ace attacks, you may sacrifice an artifact. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Ace. Then it fights up to 1 target creature defending player controls. This is awful here. It's better if you keep what's the original commander? The 4th Doctor. It's better than because you make the food tokens or whatever. But here, we don't want it. Get rid of it. Next.
Next. Another Doctor's Companions, Barbara Wright, 1 and a white. Sagas you control have read ahead, which is just, if y'all don't know, when it enters, you can choose a chapter and start with that many lore counters skipped and sorry. Oh man.
The skipped
chapters don't trigger. Yeah. Sorry, Nokia. You know how it is, guys.
Lame.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. We don't have like a ton of sagas.
That's also all this card does. If you had like a dedicated saga deck, like if you were playing Tom Bombadil Pickle,
oh yeah, she would go great in there because some sagas are big bombs when they have hit their like 3rd lore counter or whatever, you know. So
yeah. Plus, doesn't that card want you to sacrifice, like get to the end of your sagas? Get to the end and trigger them and get more. And
yeah,
that's actually that's really good.
It's actually
just get all your
Tom
sagas
Bombadil
out at that point. Yeah,
she's like a must
John?
include. John. Did I say John? John
I think you
Bombadil. Tom
John-
Bombadil. Jean Claudio.
John Dill Pickle.
What else we got?
Joe Grant. Each historic card in your hand has cycling, 2 and a white. That's a lot for to just add. Whenever you cycle a card, you put a +1/+1 counter on Joe Grant. It's not a good card. Period. I wouldn't put this anywhere, even in a dedicated cycling deck. Gabby Nesswarden doesn't want this.
Yeah.
Nope.
She got done dirty in this one. Another artifact vehicle, Bessie, the Doctor's Roadster. 2 mana. It has haste, which is pretty nice. Whenever Bessie attacks, another target legendary creature can't be blocked this turn. Crew 2.
I like this one.
I do.
It's not bad.
You have to
but
pay
again,
2.
These were
and it has
these
haste.
might have been the hardest cuts.
This
we've ever had
seriously,
to do.
like legitimately, I was having such a hard time
I
cutting
know.
things.
I listened to you stress out about it for at least
I was
an
sweating.
undisclosed amount of time.
Sweating. I do like this card. Again, miniature little side quest here, but I don't know. It has haste. It doesn't really.
No, it's actually super solid. I like it a lot, and I would not blame you for keeping it. But
Yeah.
it's just we got to make the tough calls sometimes.
Tough calls.
Tough calls. You know, it wasn't a tough call for me. We removed so many doctors, so we removed the 5 doctors.
Yeah.
It's 6 mana sorcery with kicker 5. That's a lot. That's 11 mana. Search your library and or graveyard for up to 5 doctor cards, reveal and put them into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle. If it was kicked, you put them onto the battlefield instead of putting them into your hand. No, you don't. That's a lot of mana for it.
No, you don't.
I don't really want to play 6 mana to draw some of these doctors, and I sure don't want to pay 11 mana just to put them on the battlefield without casting them, so we're not getting any historic triggers or anything. Or, our commander's trigger.
Yeah, you're
It's
not
not
getting
worth
the
it.
commander's trigger. Yeah,
Not a
like
fan of this card.
the doctors don't have meaningful ETBs on them most of the time.
I don't
It'd
know
be
if any of them do.
Yeah, I think like a
Oh, the
few
8th
have
doctor
like a
does, but
create a food token or create some food tokens or something. I don't know, but
yeah.
yeah. We
Last
should
card.
only have we took out only 1 saga here. I thought the Knight of the Doctor wasn't super amazing. It's a board wipe, so it's 4 and 2 white. The first one is destroy all creatures, and then it only has a second one. Return target legendary creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put your choice of a first strike, vigilance, or lifelink counter on it. So it destroys everything, and then on the second round, after everybody's kind of done some building up, you get 1 creature out of it. You're maybe ahead a little bit.
If you copy it with your commander, you get 2.
That's right,
But
that's
it's
right.
still
You
not
get
worth
2.
it for 6 mana. It's slow.
Yeah. It's a little slow, and I don't know, you're not looking to destroy a lot of you're looking to build your board in this deck. We don't want like a ton of board wipes anyway, you know.
It's a pretty easy 1-for-1 trade between this and Urza's Ruinous Blast. It's a much better board
Yeah.
wipe. Like you mentioned, most of the time one-sided.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, those are the 10 AdSense cuts. This was probably the most difficult video for me to make. I'm
Heartbroken.
I'm heartbroken. I won't sleep well today.
Honestly, it was harder for me to narrow it down to the 10 ads. Like, there were a lot of historic things that are like, cool.
Yeah. This deck is
talked about
so
all the cool
open-ended.
ones.
This is one of the most open-ended decks you can really do, because historic just is so broad, and oh gosh, it's just so good.
I think the 6th Doctor might be my favorite commander from the whole set. Maybe, probably.
Yep.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything better, but this it's fun. It's cool, it's fun, and it's powerful. It checks 3 boxes.
Yeah. The fact that he's in Simic too just really kind of helps, in my opinion. Just
Yeah. And you can add whatever other color you
yeah,
want.
you could just add a third color, like
It can be Bant, Sultai, or Teamer. Like, the world is your oyster
yeah.
among those combinations.
He's great. I think he might also be too. I do really like the Master Multiplied as well.
Yeah.
Him and the 6th Doctor are both really good. legendary creatures to come from the set. But cool. Well, guys, thank you so much. Like and subscribe for more content in general.
I want you to comment something to us about anything. Tell us what you want to watch. You know, what do you want us to make next? And we'll see if overwhelming demand lets us do anything like that, or we ignore you, whatever.
Or we ignore you.
Yeah.
No, we would.
Thanks for watching, guys.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye.